This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friend Sarah and I gorge ourselves in what's happening in the world of video games and entertainment.
The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge, where for just $5 a month you gain access to not one, but two entire podcasts. $5 gets you Takeout, a monthly commentary track where Ben and I decide we don't feel like doing any work, so instead we just order out. And by that, I mean we watch something and talk over it. And $2, only $2, gets you Praetorian Pals, our new monthly series where me and Ben and Saturn and Oates, aka frequent contributors to the show, do an MSQ roulette in Final Fantasy XIV, and whatever we get, we shoot the shit through the length of MSQ roulette. Sometimes it's not Praetorium. The first ever episode was in Praetorium. It was Castra Meridium. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Castra Meridium Pals doesn't sound as cool as Praetorium Pals.
Praetorium Pals has the alliteration, which is good. And also $2 gets you the entire back catalog, back episodes of That's Hell You're Walking Into, a monthly commentary, a monthly series where Ben would ask me questions about Fate's Day Night, Fate Grand Order, and the extended Nasuverse, and I would do my damnedest to answer it. Yeah, so if you think that sounds fun, head on over to patreon.com/thegorge. Kick in however much you can. We appreciate all of it. And hey, if you haven't joined our Discord, you should join our Discord.
Yeah.
If you listen to this podcast and you're not in our Discord, you should join the Discord, because we always have a good time. We watch movies together. We do rating in Final Fantasy XIV together sometimes. We really like doing treasure maps in Final Fantasy XIV together. So, like, it's always fun. It's very active. There's a decent number of people in it now. So, like, yeah, it's a good time. So that's usually linked in the episode description.
Yeah. We're getting to the point where we are very active, but we're not, like, 500 people strong. So, like, you're not going to, like, immediately join and then want to mute the server.
That's right. But, like, you still have a decent number of people who will happily talk to you about anything. Please don't bark in the middle of the episode, my love. Yeah. So that's usually linked in the doobly-doo. And on with the show.
Yeah. Thank you to Robin the Bun, Rodsters, Ben's Delivery Service, Palm of Power, Jeffy Dratus, Steel Condor, Nihar Bot, Red Lantern Reviews, Holy Star 64, Neon Hellcat, Patrick Perez, Rosie One Half, Saturn, Alice Marks, Magus, Jack, Liam Lane, and that other one dude.
Thank you all very much. We appreciate all of you desperately. So
if we get 2 more patrons, then I will cut this down to only our $5 donators and up. So if you are sick of hearing me say those names every episode, you might want to throw in like $2.
We should just start doing it in the middle of the episode instead.
Yeah.
And then we just get everybody. Okay.
Right. What have you been doing?
Not much. The usual. The usual Final Fantasy XIV. But one of the things we have been doing, and I just mentioned it in the intro, is we've been watching movies in the Discord a lot.
Yes,
lately.
we have.
And we try to at least do it once a month. Sometimes we actually do it more than once a month. So, like, we'll try to do, like, treasure maps 1 week a month, and then we'll do movies or whatever. And so we can talk about some of the anime and some of the stuff we've watched.
Yes.
Because the first thing we watched most recently, because I bullied several people in the Discord into watching Madoka for the first time. And after they were finished with Madoka, I was like, time to talk about Rebellion.
Yeah.
So we all watched Rebellion. I think you missed that one.
Yeah, I was not available for that.
Yeah. But you've seen Rebellion before,
I've already seen it.
Got to watch Rebellion with a whole crew of people, and hey, that movie fucking whips.
That movie's great.
That movie is still good. I watch it yearly. I have certain parts of it just totally memorized because I just extremely enjoy that movie. Mm-hmm. And coming out of it this time, yeah, I tell this story a lot, but the first time I ever watched Rebellion, I actually watched the first Rebellion the first time with you. And after I watched it, I spent a solid 2 hours just kind of like staring at my ceiling and going, I shouldn't have watched that. Because it kind of resets, or not resets, but recontextualizes the end of the original series in a way that at the time I felt a little funky about.
Yeah.
And it took me a really long time to come around on it. But now, after having watched it so many times, maybe it's just Stockholm Syndrome. Maybe Gen Urobuchi has just broken my brain. I don't know. But now I'm at the point where, like, I think Rebellion significantly improves Madoka as a whole. Like, as an entire, like, story that's being told. I think that extra level of depth and complexity that Rebellion introduces is really vital to what makes it good and interesting. Like, it is still a great TV series, obviously, like, even on its own, because I had watched the TV series, you know, a year or two before Rebellion even happened, and I still thought it was great. But like, Rebellion over the years has become, like, so integral to what Madoka is, like, what it's about, and kind of like what it's saying about, like, you know, wishes and love and you know, all of that good shit. And there's just kind of that additional level that's being added in Rebellion, and there's so much like potent imagery in that movie, and just like really, and like the music itself is incredible. We were actually talking about it after the movie. We had ourselves a little micro discussion on voice chat with like 7 of us, and one of the things we were talking about is how the soundtrack for the movie, you can actually just listen to the soundtrack and you know like the gist of what is going on in the story just through musical cues. Like, you know, like innocent beginnings, and then, you know, painful revelations, the action climax, the final twist during the resolution. Like, it's all there in the music. So it's very balletic in that way, the way like a ballet is nonverbal and it's all told through music and dance. So it's very much a ballet in that sense. And like, yeah, you watch it, and of course, and like that was intentional on the part of the producers, right? Because like Madoka Rebellion is like saturated in ballet imagery. There's tons of ballet dancing stuff going on in the background. Of course, like Madoka herself has kind of a ballet motif going on a lot. Her and Mommy, like, together are kind of like a ballet duo. Like, there's a lot going on there. One of the concept movies that came out, or the concept, not even movie, concept trailer that came out after Rebellion, like, explicitly frames Madoka herself as a ballet dancer.
Right.
And so, like, obviously what they were doing was intentional there. And like, I don't know, just as time goes on and I watch it over and over again, there's always something new and interesting to kind of see and fixate on. And like the weird visuals, to me, they never get old. Like, the representationalness of it is so much further. It's taken so much further from the original series, because like the original series, like, the city that they live in is this weird futuristic dreamscape.
Yeah, people have like tablets and stuff, and like weird like hologram projectors, school desks.
Yeah, and like, you know, the school itself is like way too big, and cities and hospital rooms and all of these spaces, they're all very large and abstracted and dreamlike. The whole thing kind of feels like a dream. And, you know, there's the weird, I still don't understand the recurring motif of empty chairs everywhere. Maybe someday somebody will explain that one to me. But the movie just takes that further with this, with legitimately just representational spaces that they're not actually trying to depict reality. They're trying to depict the like feeling. A stage? Yeah, like a feeling. Yeah, it's like a stage. Yeah, absolutely. It is, going back to the ballet thing. It the bus ride that Homura and Kyoko go on, that's like really famous for being so like dreamy. It's neither of them ever point out that the scenery they're in is so odd, because in their reality they're just on a normal bus ride, but what's being represented is kind of the coasting mindlessness of going on a bus ride, where you're not really paying attention to your surroundings and more so just kind of taking in vague impressions of the place as you go. That's kind of what the whole bus ride sequence is conveying. And it's really, really good. So obviously I really like that movie.
Yeah, obviously.
That's what I should say, is that I would really like to someday do a full episode about Rebellion. Maybe when the trailer, like a real trailer for the fourth movie that is never coming out, but has to come out at some point, please God, please. Maybe when that trailer drops, I'll rope Saturn into doing a full Rebellion episode with me, and
yes.
we'll see how that goes. But yeah, no, fantastic movie. Had a great time rewatching it and giving more people brain poison. It's fun when somebody watches Madoka and they're like, that was pretty good. And then they watch Rebellion and they're like, I can see how that could drive you insane for the rest of your life. And I'm like, correct, now you understand. So,
I see now.
Suddenly everything makes sense.
My city now.
My brain now, says Ganarabuchi.
I'm still relevant. No.
No. And then the other thing we watched, significantly less deep, but equally as beautiful.
Equally as visually stunning.
Exactly. Is the Wachowski sisters' Speed Racer movie.
An absolute classic.
You've never seen it before, right?
I've never seen it. I've always wanted to.
Right.
But I just never really had like the opportunity to seek it out.
Sure.
And like these movie nights are good because it gives me a chance like to watch stuff I've never gotten the chance to watch.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
What'd you think?
Holy fucking shit.
It's so good, right?
That's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
It's so like it is the ideal anime adaptation where they're like doing something super weird and different with it, but like it still maintains the spirit. I love that they so often they do like the dramatic face cut in from the anime, cut in on Speed's face. Yeah.
There were so many smart, ingenious visual decisions in that movie.
Right.
Like we were pointing out during the fist fight in the snow in like on the mountaintop, the snowflakes were creating speed lines.
Yeah, when they would swing the camera around, in time with an action sequence, the falling snow becomes a speed line, or for an impact shot, and it was great. Like there's so many little moments like that all over the movie of just like really, and I mean like the movie is deranged looking, and I mean that in the most affectionate way possible, where all of the CGI, and this is 2008.
It was the same year. It was the same. We talked about this a lot during the watch. The same year that Iron Man came out. The
same week that Iron Man came, within a week of each other, I think. So yeah, 2008. And like in 2008, CGI looked a lot better than Speed Racer.
Yes. Also, I think in 2008 we were realizing that we had to be more conservative with using CGI.
Fuck you.
we weren't quite at we're going to build an entire set on a green screen.
But
and then the Wachowski sisters were like, no, never mind, we're going to do the whole thing in a green screen.
And it rules. Like, but the thing is that like the CG in the movie looks insane.
Yeah.
And extremely fake, but like we had good CG already. Like we did. Sara was making good-looking movies at this point, right?
We did have the prequel trilogy at this point.
Yeah, like Star Wars episodes 1 through 3 are right there. So like it's obviously a stylistic decision, and I think it's a great stylistic decision because it it contributes so much to like this weird heightened reality.
I mentioned this during the thing, and I wanted to like bring it up again, and not just the John Goodman being in both movies, but this feels like this movie is to CGI sets what the Flintstones was to practical sets.
Right.
Where it's just like, oh, yeah, we literally from the ground up built every single object in this frame because it had to be Flintstones aesthetic.
Yeah, so it had to look like, it has to look so different from, you can't have anything that evokes like a natural reality, right?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing in Speed Racer that looks like it came from this world. It stepped completely out of a totally different universe, right?
They do the thing where they're in the airship. Mm-hmm. You know, the airship.
The airship, yeah. With a glass bottom airship.
The glass bottom airship going into the city, and it just looks like a Ratchet and Clank planet.
Yeah, it's so good. I love those panning shots of the different cityscapes because they're so packed with information and color and design elements. It's really beautiful. Like, and crazy looking, but beautiful.
And the crazy thing is that, like, no matter how fake it looked, I still believed that they were there.
Yeah, you were still kept in, like, I think that, like, the intention of the aesthetic is that they're, you know, this is all building toward the last race.
Right,
we'll get to the last race. This is all building toward the last race where the visuals go from crazy to fucking insane, right? And so the Wachowski sisters basically kicked down the door and said, "Listen, we don't have time to ease you into this. We've got to go. Yeah. So we're just going to throw
go Speed Racer, go." Yeah,
exactly. We have to go extremely fast right now. So we need you to just get used to it. So that when we do the really crazy shit at the end of the movie, you're already like accepting it.
And you know what is very funny about this? This is not an origin story.
No, it's not. That's the best part. God almighty. The same week that Iron Man came out and was just a fucking... And Iron Man is a great superhero movie. Like, as much as I hate the MCU these days, I still think Iron Man is an extremely good superhero movie. It kickstarted the genre for a reason. But it was a bog standard origin, like superhero origin story. And like, Speed Racer has its origin story, and they get it out of the way in like 10 minutes at the beginning of their movie. They're like, okay, disgraced dead brother. Speed loves him anyways. He's trying to follow in his footsteps. You good? Let's go.
Yeah. Here's the girl he likes. They meet when they're kids. They're still together. Bam, done.
Bam, done. Still in love. We got a race to get to. This movie has 4 fucking car races, and they're all like progressively crazier than the last, which is just incredible to me. And it's just like there's just so much going on in every single frame.
You watch this movie, and I remember thinking, like, during the part where it's the cross country race where they're just like driving across the desert, and I'm watching this and I'm thinking, like, this is legit better than Fury Road.
It's so good. Excuse me. It is just so dang good. Like the sense of speed, like they really nail all of it. Like the speed and the satisfaction of the fucking car foo, which is what they call it, by the way. Like the Wachowski sisters are like, no, this is car foo. It's got the same. It has the same effect on your brain that like watching Equilibrium and it's fucking Gunkata for the first time. Like it just unlocks a whole new part of your brain where you're like, car combat can be really cool, actually. And like it's fast and it's exciting and I fucking love it. I love watching that movie. I love like the building toward the end. I still think a lot about like, so early in the movie they established that right after Speed's brother, died, finger quotes, Speed and Pops, they watch a race that they already know the ending too, right?
Mhm.
They already know how it's gonna end because it's like a famous old race.
Yeah.
But they still decide to just start screaming and cheering for the racers, right? To see how it concludes. And it's like the least subtle wink at the audience ever. That's like, guess what you're going to be doing at the end of this movie?
Yeah.
Like, you know how this movie ends. Everybody, as soon as the premise is given to you, because of like the fucking cotton candy sugar-coated nature of the whole thing, you know exactly how it's going to end. The bad guy's going to get taken down and be humiliated, and Speed is going to win the last race, and it's going to be great, right? Happy ending. And so, like, and the Wachowskis are still like, no, you know it, and we know it. But we're still going to trick you into cheering like a crazy person when it's happening, because it's going to be one of the most insane, high-octane things in any movie you've ever seen in your life, right? And that's exactly what the final race is. Holy shit. The final race of, like, the Speed Racer movie is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in any movie ever. It's just so, like... absolutely
incredible.
Yeah. Like, the moment he gets the car going again, and he just, like, takes off, it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, we get it.
We
know where we are.
We know where we are. And that's when, like, we go from, like, really crazy visuals to even more insane visuals. And things start getting really representational again, really fast.
Yeah.
I love the one shot where he's driving and it's like an overhead shot, and he drives by and the road turns into like swirling paint. Like he went by so fast. Yeah. and like, it's just incredible. There's such a sense of momentum and speed and like you're just gripping onto yourself, like otherwise you're gonna burst out of your fucking skin. And it's great. I saw Speed Racer in theaters. I paid to see it. No, actually, other way around. Sorry, Speed Racer. Forgive me, Wachowski sisters. I paid to see Iron Man and then snuck into Speed Racer afterwards. So it's my fault. I'm the reason the
it's
MCU
your fault. You did this.
I take full responsibility. I'm so sorry.
There's a world out there where we could have got an entire movie series. Like, the cinematic universe could have been, like, Speed Racer and, like, Macross.
Yeah.
And fucking, like, just, like, every 60s anime that got a horrific dub in the West.
Or the even cooler thing where we don't have to deal with cinematic universes anymore, and also movies don't look like muddy concrete. Instead, they're just like melt your teeth, vibrant and sweet. Like,
I would prefer to live in that world, honestly. I would prefer to live in the world where the MCU still exists, but it looks like a comic book.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But yeah, no, it's just so, the ending of the last race is so good. It's so, like, eye-blinding and fast, and I snuck into a theater to watch it with my friends. It was me and a friend of mine and her little sister, and we were the only people in the theater, so we got to have, like, that, like, big cathartic moment of just literally standing up in our seats and screaming our heads off. It was great. It was probably one of my favorite movie-going experiences ever, and it was fun experiencing that with a bunch of new friends.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I love that movie. I think it's incredible. I could watch it over and over again. Actually, it's been a while since I've seen that movie, so it was really nice to watch it again.
Now, my question for you is, did you watch a lot of Speed Racer when you were a kid?
Yeah, I had Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Yeah. So I watched a lot of... I didn't, like, hunt down Speed Racer to watch, but I had Cartoon Network at the beginning of Cartoon Network, where they didn't have any money, so they were just running whatever cheap shit they could find.
You stayed up late enough to watch Speed Racer when it aired. I think it was like at like 10 o'clock at night.
It was like 10 o'clock at night, yeah. And I have been a night owl my entire life. So even when I was a kid, I was staying up way too late, just watching TV because I couldn't sleep, you know? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I watched Speed Racer.
Yeah. Very impressive how the movie looks absolutely nothing like the cartoon, but...
Literally, but it just evokes it so much, too. It's great, like...
like
the only good anime movie.
Speed Racer was not known for its impressive visuals.
No. They made that anime with about $15 and prayer. I actually also watched the Dexter's Lab Mach 5 episode after we did this.
Yeah, my cool down from watching Speed Racer was
watching Mach 5.
We're gonna go watch Mach 5, and that episode is so fucking funny.
That episode is so fucking funny. I love rolling Dee Dee into being Spritle and Racer X. Yeah. It's really good. Hello, I'm right here.
I think my favorite joke is when Dad is talking about how the Mark V has the most advanced form of gadgetry in vehicle history. Wheels.
Yeah.
They nail every aspect of the old cartoon. The lip flaps not matching, everyone having to talk very fast unless they're thinking.
Right. And the again, because they do it in the Speed Racer movie, the sharp cut into somebody's reaction face going, oh. It's so good. Best two jokes in a row in that movie are when Pops is fighting the ninja, and he has him in a chokehold, and the camera zooms in on the never-before-seen Greco-Roman Wrestling State Championship ring. That's so good.
And then the follow-up, like 5 minutes later, where it's like, was that a ninja? More like a nanja.
Stupid fucking joke.
Out of everything that Speed Racer's world builds with, you know, giant robots-esque factories and cities and all that, the implication that ninjas are a common threat that
they're just a thing that everybody's got to deal with.
Yeah, that Pops can disparage the quality of ninjas these days.
Yeah. Yeah, it rules.
Oh, I love it. It's so fucking good. Funny.
Oh, God. A+ movie. Absolute 10 out of 10. Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, God. That, other than the fact that Mob Psycho 100 Season 4, or Season 3, started last week, we watched the first episode.
Yep.
It's good. It was good. I mean, there isn't enough yet to really talk about because it's only just getting started.
Yeah.
But hey, Mob Psycho 100 continues to be good. Chainsaw Man came out today.
Yes.
And I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So
I've seen clips of the opening and that looks amazing.
Incredible.
So
yeah, it looks amazing. It's this season is insanely stacked because it's Mob Psycho 100, Chainsaw Man, Gundam Witch from Mercury, and the new Bleach started, which I have also not watched, and I need to actually watch as well. So like absolutely wild season.
So this Bleach stuff is sequel content?
No, it's the unadapted. So the anime ended after the Hueco Mundo arc, like all the shit with like Hueco Mundo and Aizen. Like it ended after that because the viewership fell off because the animation quality plummeted. So they didn't have any money to make the show look good anymore. So they canceled the anime there, but there was still an arc that ended Bleach that needed to get adapted. The funny thing is that like nobody liked 1,000 Year Blood War, like the last arc, but everybody always kind of has like a soft spot for Bleach because Bleach was cool at one point.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm gonna give the anime a chance. Like they might do something that makes the last arc good instead of bad. That would be nice. Or at the very least, as long as it's pretty, it's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be good. It just needs to look good.
Exactly. Kubo Tite basically rode that for his entire career writing that manga. Like, that man is not a writer, and you can tell, but he's a really good artist.
He's really good at designing characters and fashion.
He's got beautiful fashion sense. He's got great art and character designs. Even when people were, like, making fun of Bleach not having backgrounds, like, I don't know, Bleach always had, like, really cool Stark art, even if it wasn't, like, super detailed background horseshit. Like, whatever, not everybody is Eiichiro Oda. Like, no, Kubo Tite also has a life and isn't killing himself slowly, you know? Unlike Eiichiro Oda. So, like, who's the real winner here?
Oda, he has an entire country under his thumb.
I know.
Let's not even joke. Oda's winning. He's basically the emperor of Japan.
Yeah, I guess. I got some feelings. You know what? No, we're not getting into it. I can talk about One Piece a lot, and none of it would be kind.
Like him or not, his manga did take over an entire building.
Now, yes, his manga did take over an entire country, but I actually think his art has gotten significantly worse over the years. That's neither here nor there. But, you know, so, like, even if Thousand Year Blood War isn't good, it's fine, as long as it's pretty, and Grimmjow is there, which he is. So, I'm gonna watch it.
Don't make me go through Bleach.
I won't. I won't.
Don't come to me and be like, Thousand Year Blood War is really, really good, and I'm gonna be like, God fucking damn it, now I gotta read Bleach.
You know,
I don't want to do that.
At least Bleach is short in comparison to, like, Naruto and fucking One Piece, and it's thousands of chapters.
Yeah, but I don't want to do it.
I know.
I don't want to have to defend Bleach.
Bleach is still cool. Damn it.
I don't want to have to be like, yeah, but this part was cool.
This part, the Ulquiorra and Ichigo fight was really cool.
Like, there's been, like...
What about all that shit around the Ichigo and Ulquiorra fight? I don't want to talk about it.
Fine, shut up. It's like the pop off of Persona 4 discourse that like, you know, emerged from its 1,000 years of slumber again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
come back.
Man, don't make me defend this.
I don't know.
I don't want to talk about it.
That's another thing that I've kind of had changing opinions about over the years. So I think it's perfectly valid criticism. What else? That's kind of it. I mean, otherwise, you know, Final Fantasy 14 hate my life. But hey, I can talk for 30 fucking minutes about Madoka and Speed Racer, so we're good. Ben, what else? What did you do?
Exactly like you. I did not do a whole lot besides watch anime and movies.
Okay.
I have made some significant progress in Live Alive.
Oh, okay.
Finished Prehistory, finished Imperial China, finished Modern Age, and I have started the 8th arc, which is Middle Ages.
Okay.
Prehistory is my favorite.
Oh,
it's so stupid, but it is a full-length classic JRPG.
Great.
Like, you have a party, you wander around fields, you get in random encounters, there are multiple boss fights, you level up, you learn new skills as you level up, it's good.
Good. Okay.
Imperial China was also really, really good. It had a really unique gimmick where so the idea behind Imperial China is that you are playing as the old Shifu, who is like a martial arts master, lives up in the mountains, he realizes he's getting old, and wants to go find some disciples to pass on his skills.
Right.
So you find three disciples, and the cool thing about it is that the Shifu starts at level 10 and cannot gain experience.
Okay.
Because he's old.
Yeah.
So your disciples, as you basically go through like 3 days of training, and you have to pick which disciple you want to train. And their stats get better as you fight them. Like you have four slots per day to train one of your 3 disciples.
Right.
So someone's going to be better than the others.
Right. Yeah.
That's just how it's going to balance out. Someone will be better than the rest other 2.
Yeah.
So they gain experience while the Shifu doesn't.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a cool thing, but he's still like the main character. Like he's your party leader.
Yeah.
So you still have to use him, but like it's just kind of a cool subversion that way.
Yeah, that is cool. I like that.
Modern day is also fun because it's Street Fighter.
Cool.
You play as the hot-blooded young warrior who wants to become the world champion. Mm-hmm. You fight 6 guys who are all from different nationalities. Like you fight one guy, like a Russian guy who's like a big army guy. You fight an American guy who's a pro wrestler. You fight a Hawaiian guy who's a sumo wrestler.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's Street Fighter. Yeah.
Yeah. So the gimmick there is that you don't gain experience, but you're basically a blue mage.
Okay.
So when your opponent uses a move on you, you can learn that move.
Oh. Okay, that's fun.
Yeah. And it is straight up presented like Street Fighter. Mm-hmm. Like you get to pick which of the guys you want to fight next, and it is laid out like classic Street Fighter 2, like character select.
Awesome.
Like their portrait is there, and you have to select, like highlight the cursor over them and select them, and it shows their nationality and like their
that's great.
Blurb about their backstory. It's so fucking cool.
Cool. I love that.
And it's Yoko Shimomura channeling her Street Fighter energy to do the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's crazy to me that Shimomura does the music for Live Alive. Like that was one of her, not her big gigs, but that was one of her first major gigs, right? Uh-huh. That's cool.
It's really cool. Like kind of stopping and listening to the music and like picking up where I've heard certain melodies and certain instruments that she chooses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like in Imperial China, the kind of like soft overworld theme that plays, you're kind of like wandering around. Mm-hmm. I hear hints of Shion's theme.
Okay.
In it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like going back to Madoka for a second, but like we were talking about the soundtrack, but Yuki Kajiura, the who does the music for Madoka, and also did the music for the Heaven's Feel movies when we talked about those a few weeks ago. Also has like an insanely distinct style, right? You listen to it and you're just like, oh, this is a Kajiura theme. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really am enjoying Live Alive, and I just started the Middle Ages. Okay. And from there, then I do the final arc, which is like everyone gets tied together somehow.
Right. Somehow.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I mentioned last time that there's the running joke of the kid and his dad. Mm-hmm. And the dad gets killed every time.
Right.
In modern age, you're fighting a heel wrestler. One of them is like a heel luchador. Mm-hmm. If you get him into like a corner and he uses a bite move on you while his back is turned, the kid's dad boos him and throws a pop can at his back.
No.
And the wrestler luchador climbs out of the ring to beat him up.
No. No, not like this.
Oh, it's so good. It's such a dark fucking joke, but it's so funny.
No, it's horrible, but it's extremely funny.
So the kid's name is Watanabe, and his dad is just like Watanabe's dad. So like every permutation is like of an alteration of that name.
Oh, really?
So in Middle Ages, it's one of the first things you do is you're fighting in kind of like a tournament, like a medieval knight jousting tournament thing. You fight one of the opponents that that is on the roster is Wat of Nabe. And he's like this European pirate thug guy. I love it. It's good.
I love that. Great. Thank you.
Again, I really hope this leads to a Chrono Trigger remake, because
I would really like a Chrono Trigger remake in this style. Yeah.
It just already looks so much like Chrono Trigger sprites that I can't imagine them not doing it.
Right. It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
This is free money for Square Enix, right? So like they need to do that for Chrono Trigger, which would be even more free money.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really about it. Melissa and I did our annual watch of Over the Garden Wall last night.
Okay.
Still very, very good show.
Sure.
Always fun to watch that around this time of year.
Happy October, folks.
Yeah. All right
then.
Let's go through some news.
Hit me with some news, Ben.
Game devs and Stadia employees alike were blindsided by the sudden shutdown.
Oh wow, we're really just coming out guns blazing, huh? I'm like, Ben, tell me some news, and he kicks out the door and draws a shotgun. It's like, okay, all right, fine. We'll go for the neck first.
I think my favorite, my favorite, not favorite, like it sucks, but there was
Schadenfreude.
The day that this got posted, a company was like
Hot Wheels game,
yeah, it was like coming to Stadia, and then like an hour later there was like, oh,
I see. I think they literally posted a GIF to their Twitter that was just, I guess I'll just go fuck myself then.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, like literally did not tell anyone.
Didn't tell anyone. Right. Yeah. Extremely funny permutation of that is that a few days after that announcement, CD Projekt Red did their kind of state of the company kind of presentation, like what they're planning for the future and all that stuff. And for Cyber, because they have Cyber, so apparently Cyberpunk is not only on Stadia but ran pretty well on Stadia, so like that was one of the bigger games on Stadia. And extremely funny is that like days after the Stadia announcement that they're shutting it down, on CD Projekt's like slides for like the future of Cyberpunk, there's still a little Stadia logo. It's like, man, those slides were done a few days before the announcement, and somebody was like, we ain't fixing it. We already finalized this presentation. Fuck you. We
do not have time.
We've already shot all the footage. We're not fixing it. It's staying in. It's like, oh, okay. The extremely sad story, but like in a real Schadenfreude way, because like, why would you play it this way?
Right.
Like the guy who put 6,000 hours into Red Dead Redemption 2, or some insane number like that. Like, how do you even put 6,000 hours into Red Dead Redemption 2? Says somebody who's played a lot of Final Fantasy 14 and Fallout 4. Like, I don't know how you do that. But he's like, I'm going to lose my save. Is there some way to transfer it? It sounds like that guy's just shit out of luck.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's it. This article even says that, like, quote, where was it? I just saw it here. Red Dead Redemption 2 and Cyberpunk 2077 players have already started begging the makers of those games, Rockstar and CD Projekt Red, to help them transfer their saves files to PC or console. And it's just not happening. It's just
not happening. Yeah, no.
Which is what we said, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, when this thing shuts down, everyone's going to lose all their shit.
Because the thing is that, like...
Now, to be fair, and this is something I did not expect, everyone is getting refunded for their purchases.
Oh, that's good. Okay,
so,
well... Small mercies. But, like, the thing is that... Like, when you're playing it on a PC or a PlayStation... Even if, like, online service ends for Red Dead Redemption, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still have a physical save, like an actual data file on your box that is, like, your game. Like, your save file for the game is on your computer or your PlayStation or whatever. And so, like, it's kind of like freezing yourself when you die. Like, on a long enough time scale, there might be a way to transfer that save to a different platform, right? If something happens and suddenly, like, you can't access your game for some reason, like the save, unless the hard drive is destroyed, the save still exists because it is on your box. But when you're playing a cloud-based game where even your save is in the cloud, you're just fucked.
Yeah, no, there's no recovering that.
There's no recovering that. Like, that's why I will never, ever, ever get behind this whole cloud-based gaming thing. Like, I might give cloud-based gaming a shot if, like, my saves were locally stored. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, like, the game itself, you're booting it up off of fucking the internet, right? Like, that's how, weirdly, that's how, like, FACO works, right? Like, your account, like, your file is on your phone. But like, you can't play the game unless you're connected to FACO servers, right?
Right.
So I guess I have kind of already done that. But, like, the idea of just not even having this game that you've put, like, so much time into, like, saved somewhere in your house, like, a place where you can hold it in your hands, sounds insane to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I still don't even really like purchasing digital games on console.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, you know, I've kind of made peace with it because sometimes that's the only way you're going to do it, you know? Especially, you know, budget games these days, they don't do physical releases because it's just more economical to only do a digital release. I get it.
Like it's just significantly easier to just buy it from the PlayStation Store than it is to try to hunt down a disc of it.
Sure. But, like, still, even then, that the progress you have made is in your house. It's not on the cloud.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't imagine. I'm sorry. Like,
No.
You foolishly thought that Google would support a platform. What's wrong with you? Google never supports their platforms.
I'm honest, like, I'm not surprised that everyone is blindsided by it shutting down, to be perfectly honest. Like, I kind of expected this exact thing would happen, is that one day they're just gonna be like, it's done. Yeah, no, like, have you been paying attention to how Google operates at all for the last couple years? For the last couple forever? There's a quote in this article, and let me see if I can dig it out here. Quote from who is it? From one of a dev who's working with Google Stadia. Quote, "To be honest, based on Google's track record, we've been moving forward fairly cautiously and fortunately haven't invested too much into the port outside of lost time on planning how it would work compared to Steam or consoles." Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. that is how you do it, because I mean, like, that's like, Google invents platforms and programs to kill them. Like, that's actually a thing that got documented in the wake of Stadia, is that, like, they come up with stuff just to promote it, to get people into the Google ecosystem that they might not have been in it before, and then they kill it because now those people are in the Google ecosystem, right? Yeah. So they don't have any vested interest, because Google's main means of making money is data collection, right? Right. So there was never any intention to support Stadia unless it was just a huge runaway success, which it never would be. Yeah, of course. There's no chance. But, like, even if Stadia had been like a success, but only like a minor success, it was still fucked, because that is still more expensive for Google to keep that program maintained. It is cheaper for them to just shut it down, and now they have a ton of people, you know, people who, again, were previously not within their system, are now in their system, and they can harvest and sell that data on them to other people, right? Right. That's why Google is the way it is. So yeah, no, expecting Stadia to stick around was, frankly, naive. Yeah, no, absolutely. It had no chance of competing with anything. No, absolutely not. No. Stupid. Yeah. The bad news continues. Great. Founding member of Disco Elysium Studio claims core devs involuntarily left the company. Oh God, this was in this news cycle. Fuck me. Capitalism strikes again. I hate this news. It is the most Disco Elysium thing that could happen to Disco Elysium, of course. I immediately thought the first when I read about this happening, the first thing that entered my head was you're fucked too.
You're fucked too. This will happen to everything you love.
Yeah.
It's Joyce Messier on the docks in the game saying, you know, you can dye your hair green or wear your grandmother's clothes, but all forms of counterculture will eventually be subsumed by capital. It's literally there's literally a part in the fucking game that is talking about what happened to disco. This exact thing happening. Yeah. It's just so depressing. It's so, I don't know, it just sucks. I feel so bad for Kurvitz in particular. I mean, it sucks that all four of the, like, founding members, the people who are, like, really responsible for the heart and soul of disco, they're all gone. But I exceptionally feel bad for Kurvitz because this is, you know, Martinet and the larger, you know, world of Disco Elysium was a setting that he had been working on for like 16 years. Yeah. Right? And so to a certain extent, I see a lot of people saying like, well, I hope they come back and make another game and it's a great fuck you revenge game. I wouldn't be surprised if he just fucked off the industry forever. Oh, right? Yeah, for sure. And I honestly wouldn't blame him. I frankly think he should. Yeah. Because like if I had something and I had poured so much of myself into for the last 16 years and I had it literally stolen out from under me by a bunch of venture capital, you know, monsters who are literally in the process of hiring like a games as a service people to work at Zaum. Like, you know, I would probably walk into the ocean and never be seen again, frankly. Like, I can't even wrap my head around it. I've never had a piece of work that I like genuinely loved and poured so much like time and heart and like my beliefs and my love into, and I had it stolen. Like I've never had that kind of a heartbreak, and I think it would legitimately drive me insane. Like, you know, well, I mean, you know, they said in the announcement post that announced the dissolution of the what was it? The Zaum Cultural Committee? I can't remember the exact name of it, but you know, that was, you know, it ends with the guy saying he's basically in a psych ward right now. It's not Kurvitz who's saying that, but you know, here's the quote from the article. Luiga signs off the post writing from Tallinn Inpatient Treatment Center, Psychiatric Clinic, Ward 9. Yep. And it's like, yeah, I think that would legitimately make me insane. I don't think I would be able to be creative ever again. Or at least I wouldn't be able to be creative in a way that was like interesting. I think I would be creative in the way that would just be me ended up getting arrested because I would basically be saying you should go bomb these people's offices. Yeah. Like I can't wrap my head around it. It's so vile. And then you start seeing on, you know, Reddit posts about how Zaum has like, they only have 2 Estonian writers on staff now, and everybody else are like rich guys from New York and London and California, right? Like people who went to expensive Western schools and shit like that. And you're just like, oh, okay. It's the complete subsummation. Yeah. This is the apex of an auteur putting out something that is pure heart and genuine emotion and nothing, like it's completely devoid of the corporate capitalist influence, right? Like It is Disco Elysium is a game that is so purely the creator's vision. Right? Yeah. They thanked Marx and Engels at the Game Awards. Yeah, no, it's very, you know, it's pure, it's like their ideology, just like in the game in its entirety. And to have this handful of creators who poured everything they had into this product, to have them be kicked out of the company they created by faceless men in suits who were brought in
with the experience of games as a service.
Yeah.
You couldn't make a more on the nose European cartoon.
It's so, like, to me, it's so on the nose that if it was in Disco Elysium, I would be like, this is kind of heavy-handed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if they had included something like that in Disco,
I mean,
I would be like, this is really a lot. But no, it's not a lot. It's just the lived experience of what people go through every single day of, like, having their love stolen from them by capital.
That's exactly what it feels like. It feels like, you know, Harrier will find a guy sitting on the curb, and you talk to him and you learn that he started this animation company, and he was doing everything by hand, and his product got overtaken by a bunch of corporate fat cats.
Yeah, a bunch of freaks who stole their shit. Yeah,
who immediately sold off everything and only cared about profit and completely ripped the heart and soul of his product out.
Yeah, and
left him with nothing.
I will say, however, that this is like the worst possible studio to do this to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So much of Disco like exists off of word of mouth, and like even Zom's like feeble attempts to do damage control were just met like so viciously with like, no, go fuck yourselves. We know what you did. Like, yeah, I know that video games are a collective effort. Absolutely. No video game is made by a single individual. That being said, when the game is so clearly dictated by the, like, political thoughts and feelings of a handful of individuals, when you cut those handful of individuals out of the game, you don't have the same team making that game anymore.
Look, there's a reason Rare doesn't make Banjo-Kazooie anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because those guys left.
Those guys aren't there anymore, yeah.
It does actually matter who is directing your game and who is writing it.
Absolutely. It's just so upsetting. No, I hate it. I legitimately, like, hate this. It's so, like, it's just the most depressing news. You're fucked too. It is really, like, you're just fucked too.
My big question is, it's the fucking Scrubs meme. Where do you think you are?
Yeah. Like, yeah, where do you think you are?
You hired a bunch of games as a service devs to work on the sequel to Disco Elysium?
Yeah.
Do you think the target audience for Disco Elysium is interested in number go up?
Yeah, like in games as a service freak shit? No. It's so heinous. I hate it. It's so wretched. I hope they never sell another video game again. I hope the whole company burns to the fucking ground now. I'm sorry.
What would a games as a service Disco Elysium look like?
Gotcha game. It's just
you know
who, stars are different variations of Harrier's outfit.
You know who I want to roll for is fucking Summer Dubois.
I want to roll for fucking Kuno. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. That's exactly what everyone wants out of this game.
Sucks. Yeah, I know. It sucks ass. Fuck them all, burn in hell. Yeah. It's amazing. It's just depressing.
The bad news continues.
Stop it! I want off this ride.
Overwatch 2's phone requirement. Quote, it's like being punished for being poor. Update gone for most.
Gone for most, yeah. I did see that.
So they took Overwatch off the internet forever.
That's right.
I do always have fun when a game shuts down like this, watching clips of the last players alive. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like when 14 goes down for maintenance, it's always fun to like hang out until you get kicked out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I watched there were clips on Twitter being posted of like, you know, Overwatch matches and people just like doing dance taunts and whatnot.
Yeah.
But that's gone for good. And Overwatch 2 premiered with a chorus of sad trombones.
Yeah, no.
The article in question is talking about one of the problems with it, besides just like it just not launching for people, is that one of their not antivirus, but like authentication systems, requires use of a phone number.
Yeah.
But it can't be a landline, a prepaid phone plan, or a VoIP.
Yeah.
So
it's so stupid. It's so
hey, Blizzard, if you're going to make Overwatch free to play for people who can't afford to throw down for $60 games,
yeah.
If they can't afford a $60 game, they probably can't afford a cell phone plan.
No, I spent the majority of my 20s, like from when I was like 21 to like 27, I had a prepaid plan because it was all I could afford, right? Like until extremely recently, I have been able to get like a real phone plan, and like I had to do fucking like, you know, the Walmart route because I was broke for anything else. That's just how life was. And it's, to me, what is so exceptionally galling about this Overwatch 2 thing is that the OG Overwatch, you can't play it anymore, right? You can't play Overwatch 1 at all. It doesn't
exist. It's
gone. But back in the day, you paid for it. You paid your $40 for the video game, and it was yours. And then they took it offline, and everybody who paid $60 for that game, if you did pay for the game back in whenever Overwatch came out, now they're telling you, no, you can't play that game that you paid money for. Also, you can't play this game because you don't have a valid phone plan, which I mean, obviously they walked it back because of the backlash, but I mean,
right.
Like, okay. But it's still so, again, just galling, like the nerve to be like, no, you paid money for Overwatch 1, but you still have to unlock shit in Overwatch 2. It doesn't matter how many thousands of hours you put into Overwatch 1.
This article doesn't mention it, but there were people who are like, all my shit's gone.
Yeah.
It didn't import Overwatch 2 correctly.
Yeah, no, it's incredible to me. Like, it's so vile.
Also, I don't know. We've talked a lot, or not a lot, but like we've talked before about how it's weird that nothing on the Destiny 2 disc exists in Destiny 2 anymore. Right? And that's kind of like weird. And like Saturn has explained to us why it makes sense, because like unlike FF14, the early Destiny content is just straight up bad, and no one wanted to play it anyway. So like as the game progressed, it evolved out of that content, so that kind of does make sense. Overwatch 1 discs are useless now. Yeah,
they're totally useless now. You basically own a $60 pizza cutter. Congratulations.
Which it's just it's bizarre to me.
That you have like a game disc and like it doesn't do anything.
I don't know the exact details too, but like the unlock system for Overwatch 2 is so scammy that it requires like thousands of hours to actually unlock the characters regularly.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it is basically tuned to force you to buy, which of course it is, right? That's how it is.
That's what they're aiming for. Yeah,
that's what I mean. But I mean, like, you know, I'm sorry. If you're playing Overwatch 2 and you're feeling like really scammed, I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you at all. Stop playing Blizzard games. Stop playing Blizzard games. Why are you playing Blizzard game when you see all this shit that goes on? Like,
guess what? They shut down your game. You don't have to play this one anymore. It's free.
Yeah, your game is dead. This game is, you know, you don't have to play it. You can go play literally anything else. Go play TF2. Yeah. It's still better.
There's no sunk cost fallacy. Oh, I did mention, I did play TF2 for a little bit, a couple days ago. Not a single bot in any of the matches.
Fantastic. So yeah, go play TF2. I don't feel bad for any of these people. I'm sorry. Yeah. If you're a big Blizzard fan, there's a huge chance you know about everything going on at Blizzard. So if you feel scammed, if you feel bad, maybe you feel like taken advantage of, Oh, well.
Yeah.
That sure sounds like a personal problem.
Now, I did see today,
Mm-hmm.
people were posting, the Overwatch 2 models have been decoded.
Yeah, so the only thing that we're gonna get out of Overwatch 2 is more porn.
Yep.
So,
There is a tweet that's just a picture of D.Va, and it's just like world champion 5 years running.
Yeah. You know what? Don't never try to get in the way of SFM porn artists.
Yeah.
That's the moral. That's the real moral of the story here.
The big thing people were talking about, how like they know Overwatch is falling off because they have not seen a single porn of the new girl.
Oh yeah, the other Japanese character.
Yeah, the other Japanese ninja.
Who knows the other two Japanese characters. Yeah.
Who was introduced with basically, you remember that old Anime Con video directed by Vic Mignogna?
Uh-huh.
Where it's Garugamesh?
Yeah, absolutely.
She just wrote that letter to Hanzo.
Yeah, it's like, I sure love takoyaki and
ramen.
And going to the arcade in Harajuku. Like, come on.
Yeah. All right, let's get some good news finally.
Thank God.
Good things did happen this news cycle.
Okay.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's new trailer shows new Girafarig evolution in Pokemon Picnic.
He's my little baby boy.
Faragariff!
I love him! Listen to me. I love Girafarig. Girafarig is my favorite Pokemon. I have a stuffed one. Ben got it for me for Christmas because Ben is a good friend. I love my goofy baby boy. I have multiple friends who have told me they hate Girafarig because they think he's creepy looking because he has a monster butt. And I've always been like, no, you don't understand. He's my baby. And then he finally got an evolution, and I'm so happy. I'm not going to play the new Pokemon game because I don't own a Switch. However, I will almost certainly purchase Faragariff. Faragariff, yeah, because it's also a palindrome.
Yeah.
I will purchase a Faragariff stuffed animal because I need it. I need my little baby. I don't care about any. I know you like literally after you said that there was a Girafarig evolution, you said something afterwards. I don't know what it is because I'm just like, look at my goofy boy. Everybody who draws him like edgy, like his head is like a little monster head. No, that's my baby. He's never done anything wrong in his life. He has a heart of gold and is perfectly innocent. Don't be mean to his weird little monster helmet, okay? That's a baby. Don't bully my baby. I know he's kind of funky looking, but he's mine, and I love him. So, I love him.
They did show off a bunch of other stuff recently. So the idea is that you can now make sandwiches for your Pokemon.
Cute.
There is a selfie mode finally introduced.
Oh, wow.
And then you can take pictures, you can take selfies, and then use them for your trainer card.
Cute.
So you actually get like different poses and stuff you can do with that. One of my favorite new Pokemon they introduced is Wiglet.
Which one was that?
It is a long Diglett.
Yes, I did see that. I do love me a Wiglet. It was extremely funny.
Incredible creature.
It's so good.
Yeah, no, everything about Scarlet and Violet is looking better and better.
Yeah, it looks completely solid.
It looks very fun. A lot of interesting looking creatures. Paldean Wooper is good too.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I think still looks weird, this isn't in this cycle, but it's been around for a while, is so the idea is that the legendaries are your bikes in this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the one legendary that has wheels built into its chest and torso.
He doesn't use them.
And then runs?
On his feet?
What?
He runs on his feet, Nintendo? Are you fucking kidding? He uses his feet? He's got feet and he uses them instead of rides around his fucking wheels? Are you deranged? I hate this game.
Becomes your bike and runs. At least ride it, you asshole!
me. Are you kidding? Such bull. It's so stupid. So stupid. Everything looks great, and my giraffe baby is perfect. So I guess it's fine. But why would you do
that? Next, Mario movie's first trailer reveals that Chris Pratt sounds like just a dude, no accent.
Should have been Charles.
Should have been Charles.
Should have been Charles. Tara Strong's right. Should have been Charles.
Everything about this trailer besides Chris Pratt looked way better than I could have possibly imagined it looking.
Yeah, when you tell me Illumination Mario movie, I immediately just assume the absolute worst.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was fine. I'm not gonna see it because
no,
it's not really my thing.
Well, yeah, I'm also not gonna seek out a Illumination movie made for kids.
That's correct. Yeah, I'm not a baby.
Yeah.
I might end up watching it because I have nieces and nephews who are in the age range for the Mario movie.
Right.
But I thought it looked good. I think the whole look of the movie. I still think the Mario character design looks kind of funky. His face is too small.
It's a little off. It's not quite.
It's like if you moved all of your furniture 2 inches to the left. You know what I mean?
I mentioned this on the Discord, but Sonic's movie design looked good because it was different enough from classic Sonic that it stood out as a separate thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
This looks close enough to the game Mario that it just looks incorrect.
Yeah, it just, when it isn't exactly the same, it looks wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, other than that, I think Bowser looks great. I love the whole intro. I mean, I love Jack Black, who is perfect. And he's killing it, and he's having a good time as Bowser. And boy, that sure is just. I do like that somebody pointed out that Chris Pratt's Mario voice just sounds like Linda Belcher.
Yeah, it really does.
It really does, So, and maybe they should have just gotten Linda Belcher's voice actor to do. I mean, there's so many other options. It should have been Charles Martinet because Charles Martinet is also a for real voice actor, and he could have done a movie Mario voice. Yeah. Sorry, he's an actual talented voice actor who's been in a lot of things.
The new Dragon Ball movie.
He's in the new Dragon Ball movie. He's fucking Parthenax. Is that his name?
Yeah.
In Skyrim. He's a real voice actor. So if somebody was hey, we need you to do a Mario voice, but kind of dial it down from how you the Wahoos to sound more like a talking voice, I am positive Charles Martinet would have been able to workshop that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's he's a professional. He's not Chris Pratt doing the laziest Brooklyn accent you've ever heard in your entire life.
Yeah.
So,
Keegan-Michael Key as Toad sounded great.
That's true.
Everyone.
I wanted to hear Charlie Day as Luigi.
Yeah, I want to hear more of that.
I saw Luigi at the end and I was like, oh, great. But he didn't say anything. I was sad. So, but yeah, no, it looked perfectly acceptable. It wasn't a huge, it wasn't like every bad Illumination trailer that's come out in the last 7 years, right?
Right, yeah.
That are pop music and all kinds of horse shit.
Yeah.
So, totally acceptable. I'm probably going to end up watching it with my nieces and nephews because that's just, how it be.
Right.
I've seen a lot of animated movies that I would never watch otherwise because I have young nieces and nephews. Yep. You know what I mean?
I get that. Yeah. We babysat my nephews a couple weeks ago, and it was my sister was like, "Yeah, he's gonna watch Toy Story 3 and then go to bed."
Oh, perfect.
So
the kids will watch fucking movies, the same movie over and over again.
Oh yeah.
And when it's good movies, for a while, my nephew was really, really into Spider-Verse and was all he wanted to watch. And I was like, fuck yeah, little man, I'll watch Spider-Verse with you all day. But then they got really, really into Trolls. I'm like, no.
Oh, you went backwards.
We went backwards.
Mine was a Goofy movie.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then for a while it was also not Spirited Away. My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh, that's a good one. My big one was as a kid, according to my mom, because I don't remember very well. My big one was The Little Mermaid and Lady and the Tramp. I love Lady and the Tramp. My mom actually had a My mom had a bootleg tape that had those two movies just on it.
Oh,
and she would just plug that shit in and just like be able to leave me alone while she went and did stuff. So that's, that's like 3.5 hours worth of movie.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
So the thing that stood out to me most about this trailer review was the pre-interviews where
Chris Pratt is phoning it in even more than you could possibly imagine.
I don't think Chris Pratt knows what Mario is.
I don't think Chris Pratt knows what a Mario is. No,
because he's like, I remember being a kid and jumping on Koopas,
and you're like,
it's like,
did no one coach you? Did no one like?
Meanwhile, Jack Black is like, yeah, man, I like got into shape and I was so excited to be Bowser and breathe fire and I'm learning how to breathe fire from Ozzy Osbourne, and he's like going on, and Chris Pratt's like, at the arcade,
I played a Mario.
I became Mario.
It's like, oh no, do we have to do this?
And he's fucking like recording in his kitchen.
He's like in his kitchen on his iPhone.
Like,
and you're just
on a webcam that's like 15 years old.
Yeah.
It's all blurry and smudged.
Like the most awkward angle you've ever seen anybody do. Like you just feel like you're about to get a dick pic. Like he's gonna swap the like you're talking to somebody on FaceTime and they swap the camera and it's like, oh, that's a penis. Did
you watch the Spamton sweepstakes?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I never got around to that.
Because there's a bit where they have an interview with Tony Fox.
Yeah.
And like it's set up like Chris Pratt, where it's like some guy's really outdated webcam and he's recording from like inside a closet. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Chris Pratt, come on.
Nobody coached that man before the interview. It was incredible. They're just like, yeah, just get out there, Mr. Pratt.
Yeah.
No.
Like
what I'm gonna do is when the movie comes out, I'm going to hire Charles Martinet on Cameo, and I'm just gonna send him a bunch of lines with no context. And I'm gonna be like, I need you to read all of these lines to the best of your ability. And then after he reads all the lines, I'm going to make my own bootleg Mario movie cut.
Yes. I've seen people be on Twitter and be like, well, Charles Martinet's okay with it. It's like, yeah, of course he is. He's not gonna say negative things about Nintendo hiring Chris Pratt.
Yeah, that job that he's used for like
also
the last 20 years. Yeah, he's gonna say something and lose that job. Okay.
Also, Charles Martinet is a really nice guy.
He's an extremely nice man with a good heart.
He's not going to say negative things in public in general.
That's just how it be. Like,
he's not fucking Alan Moore.
No, like, and the thing is that, like, even if they didn't hire Charles Martinet because, maybe he can't do the voice like in a sustained capacity, kind of like Mark Hamill in the Joker.
Yeah, or the version of Mario they're writing just doesn't fit Charles Martinet's personality.
Sure, fine. Still get a real voice actor.
Yeah,
please still get like a real voice actor, like a guy. Again, get the Linda Belcher guy.
Yeah, right. Get someone who can actually inject some energy and excitement into the character.
Yes, that's some fucking life into the character. Goddamn.
That's why Ben Schwartz replacing Roger Craig Smith as Sonic didn't hurt as bad, because Ben Schwartz can voice act.
He's like a real voice actor. He's like good at it,
Got like skill and can emote without needing to be seen.
Yeah, he's just so flat. It's crazy to like watch the trailer in other languages where like Mario has, for one, very funny to hear an Italian accent in like French and Portuguese, right? Like I maybe it's just like it's obviously just from the fact that I don't really have any like exposure to it, but I've never heard like other accents in other languages. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like an Italian accent, but done by a French guy in French.
There's a great bit in Part 4 of JoJo where you meet an Italian character, and he is speaking Japanese with an Italian accent, and it sounds so cool.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I want more of that. But so, I've had a very fun time watching some of these clips from the other language versions of this movie, and it's in basically every other language they got a guy who sounds vaguely Italian, right? Who has some fucking life in his voice and an Italian accent in that language, and it's wow, man, we could have had that. It wouldn't have been hard.
It doesn't. It doesn't have. It's because everyone else. We've heard, it was oh, you only heard 2 lines. Yeah, we only heard 2 lines from Bowser, and he sounds great. We only heard 2 lines from Toad. He sounds amazing.
Yeah, those sound good. So you can determine if something is good off those 2 lines. I'm sorry. Right. Also, Chris Pratt is just not a good actor.
No, he doesn't.
He plays the same guy in every single movie he's ever been.
It worked. They're but what about the Lego movie? Yeah, Emmett was an everyman.
Yeah, he's literally the same guy as Star-Lord and Chris Pratt's fucking character from Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
those are all 3 of the same kind of guy.
The whole point of the Lego movie is that Emmett was incredibly bland.
Yeah, and generic, and just a dude.
Is being thrust around all these exciting and colorful characters. Mario is not that.
No, Mario is not generic.
Yeah.
It's literally a huge thing about him. Whatever.
Anyway.
Next.
Moving on. Kojima Productions teases new game starring Ellie Fanning.
Sure.
There was a big, QR code event thing that Kojima posted. And it ended up being a picture of Ellie Fanning. And it's new game coming out.
It's okay, well, great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to more details.
Someone, here quote from the article. Indeed, a Kojima Productions producer retweeted Kojima's tweet with the hashtags Death Stranding and Where Am I? The producer's tweet has now been deleted. Oops. It might be Death Stranding 2.
Well, we know they are working on Death Stranding 2, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
And Elle Fanning is a real actress, and and Kojima loves that.
Kojima loves nothing more than putting real actors and actresses in his thing.
Right.
It's his favorite thing in the world to do.
It's his literal favorite thing in the world to do. I'll be okay with that. I'm looking forward to a hypothetical second Death Stranding game.
Death Stranding was good.
Death Stranding's good. Yeah. Next.
Street Fighter 6 players are embracing madness with the unhinged character creator.
Holy shit.
Are you?
Holy shit.
Would you have ever expected
the degree of freaks you can make
in a Street Fighter?
And I'm just saying, if I were the McElroys.
Oh yeah, they're salivating right now.
Not only would I have 1 Monster Factory episode, I wouldn't have 2 Monster Factory episodes. I would do an entire season.
This is
Street Fighter 6 Monster Factory.
This is one of the best things that Monster Factory gets to do is when they can put their creation out for other people to interact with.
That's correct.
When they can force their character onto other unsuspecting players.
Yeah, when they're not just stuck in Fallout 4 as much as, of course, we all love the Final Pam. But to be able to inflict that character on other people is where it's really at.
Did you see?
Did you see Pat's
character?
Pat's character is truly a goblin. We've really unlocked some potential here.
Pat Poivin, who complained over and over about how his audience forced him to glamour into Lalafell.
Basically, he immediately made the Street Fighter version of a Lalafell. Yeah.
It's I would never have expected this level of customization,
Yeah, when they were make your own character in Street Fighter 6, I'm okay, so you can pick your gender and pick your skin color and your hairstyle, and you'll have a couple of generic outfits you can put on.
I was expecting Soul Calibur, where it's because there's muscle definition, there's muscle size, you can, but it's all it's still all got to wrap around a skeleton.
Like a human body, normal human body. It still has to look like a human being.
Yeah,
at least a little bit.
still got to do all the moves, so it can't be like completely out of left field. Like you have a lot of freedom, but obviously there's like a limitation as to what is believable and able.
Apparently not in fucking Street Fighter.
Apparently.
In Street Fighter, you can just be a freak, which, you know what, sure.
It's amazing. It's incredible. I guess
it is like a work of art. I'm really looking for, like, that will make me buy Street Fighter 6. Yeah. I'm really ashamed to say that, but, like, I will buy Street Fighter 6 just for, like, the insane creative character. Yeah. I want to make a freak, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was already like, okay, SF6 is going to be the one that I play, right? You know?
Sure, because it looks great. Yeah, it looks incredible.
This just makes it all the better. Like, oh my god.
Because now I can make myself a little freak, too. Yeah! Oh my god, I'm so excited.
It's just great that it's like, it's not even like, oh, you know, we broke it and now it looks like, you know, you can make it look really weird if you adjust it so and so like this. Like, this is just default sliders that you're moving around. Apparently
the slider, like the number of sliders available to you as well are completely fucking insane.
Yeah. I'm very impressed that Capcom is like, yeah, we'll go hog wild. You can make whatever the hell you want.
I'm so excited. Yeah, now, I'm extremely enthusiastic about Street Fighter 6 for many reasons.
Now my wonder is if it's like, yeah, 5 hairstyles and 6 outfits.
Yeah, absolutely no variation there. Yeah. It's just like all in the face. Yeah.
Imagine if Starfield gets anything close to that.
God. I really hope Starfield lets us make some real fucking freaks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. God. I need to explode some face bones.
Please. Oh my god. Please. All right, what else?
Mindy Kaling, Scooby-Doo Redo Velma gets a bloody silly New York Comic Con debut.
I'm sorry.
This is bad.
It looks bad. I'm sorry. Like, everybody's really enthusiastic about lesbian Velma, and like, yeah, I'm glad for that. But one, sucks ass that we can't get animation made anymore unless it's sponsored by celebrity.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
2, there's no fucking dog.
How can you not... Oh, we couldn't figure out how to make Scooby funny in our mature cartoon. Well, then you're bad writers.
Yeah, your cartoon isn't fun. It's not going to be funny. I'm sorry. Like, and that's like a weird thing, but it's just so like boring and cynical. Like, it's so obviously just like a really cynical thing to just like... It's about the dog. I'm sorry.
The show is often called Scooby-Doo.
It's still like a very weird decision. So like, I don't know. This is one where I basically immediately checked out when I realized how cynical it was. Like, I was like, oh, okay, lesbian Velma, cool. And then I saw everything else surrounding the production, including like, you know, again, it's a cartoon that's getting made because a celebrity wants it made, right? Yeah. And I immediately turned my brain off. I was like, no, I'm good. Never mind.
And I know Oates will back me up on this as our fellow resident Hanna-Barbera enthusiast.
That's correct.
But it's like they're like talking about like the characters and like it's every character description feels like the Scooby-Doo equivalent of, unlike other mecha shows, this one's about the pilots.
Yeah,
where they're like, you know, we're really playing with the space with the idea of Fred always being a glory hound who steals credit from others. When has he ever done that? Ever?
Well, I mean, like, the thing is that, like, yeah, that is like Fred's whole thing. But like, do you really think you're the first Scooby-Doo adaptation to make jokes about that? Like, so many other Scooby-Doo stories love to make jokes about like Fred just like really wanted to solve some fucking mysteries. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
he's always had like a zest for solving mysteries and being adventurous. He's not like an attention-seeking, you know, glory thief. He doesn't steal the credit from others.
No, but he's just like really like overly enthusiastic to his detriment, which is like the comedy of that character in like later adaptations. It's just weird.
Like you're gonna be like,
how did you take away Shaggy's dog, man?
Right, but that's like the equivalent of being like, you know, we're really gonna explore Shaggy being a skinny dude, so he's gonna eat a whole lot in this one.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, wow, really? Wow, really? You mean Shaggy's gonna eat a lot?
We never see Shaggy eating anything in the show, so we're really gonna explore that area.
We're really go in depth into that, but then you take away my man's dog. I'm sorry.
He's gotta have a dog.
How are you gonna take away Shaggy's dog? That's just tragic.
How are you gonna tell me you can't figure out talking dog in your adult thing when Family Guy has been on the air for 23 years?
Yeah. I'm sorry. You could have your fucking talking dog and it would be hilarious. So, you're not funny.
Everything that's like, oh, we're making ours more mature and plot focused. Oh, you mean like Mystery Incorporated? We're really going to explore the romantic relationship between the characters. Oh, you mean like Mystery Incorporated?
It's going to be like a dark, like a dark, spooky Scooby-Doo story. Oh, you mean like Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island?
Yeah.
It's going to be dark and spooky, and the monsters are going to be real. Oh, you mean like Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island?
Yeah. Hey, Mindy Kaling, Scooby-Doo has been around since 1960s. Everything you are doing has been done before.
All of it has. There is nothing original under the sun. So, like, just put the fucking dog in the cartoon. I'm sorry. Don't take away Shaggy's dog. That's just sad. Don't take away my man's dog. I can't abide by that. No. We don't have enough dogs in general.
Yes,
so
that's true.
We need more dogs in cartoons. Sarah, there are plenty of dogs in cartoons. But we need more.
We need more dogs.
We just need more dogs in general. So that's my advice.
All right, two more.
Hit me.
Former editor EIC Joe Quesada leaps over to DC. Haha, fuckers, he's your problem now. Bitch!
So long, suckers! Everybody Marvel fans just cackling while they run away from DC like, no, take backsies! You gotta keep him! You said you wanted him, he's gotta stay over there now!
you hand him off and like the rest of the Marvel staff is like, ha! We're free! And DC's like, huh, wonder what that means.
I'm sure it's fine. Oh, DC. What are you doing? Doing?
I am never, ever, ever gonna fucking forgive Joe Quesada for literally killing Spider-Man for like 20 years.
Yeah, no, you are 100% allowed to hold that grudge until the heat death of the universe.
One more day started Spider-Man on a decline that has not stopped and has only accelerated in recent years.
We hit rock bottom, and then we took out a shovel.
Me and Red, like the latest run on Spider-Man, we're both just like, all right, well, I guess that's it for Amazing Spider-Man Forever. I am never looking in your direction again. You ruined it.
We're done. Bye.
I'm not even gonna sneak onto piracy sites to read your issues anymore. I am just tapped out.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm cleared my hands. Incredible. Well, you know what? Now he can go ruin somebody else's
now he can go ruin Batman.
Yeah. Go ruin Batman. I mean, I know Batman can never get a W anyways, but like I'm sure he'll find a way to make it worse. Yeah. Oh god.
As I say in every episode where comic news happens, kids, don't get into superhero comics. It's too late.
Don't read comic books.
Don't be like me.
Folks, don't do it. I'm here to tell you. Don't read American comic books, or only read Transformers IDW1. That ended, so they can't ruin that anymore.
Read IDW. Mm-hmm. Read Boom. Those are good companies.
Those are good companies.
Don't read Marvel and DC. There's nothing there for you. I'm sorry. You can watch the movies. You can enjoy the movies. You can play the games. You can watch the cartoons. That's all fine. Don't do the comics. That is
just if you want to get into DC, folks, just watch the old 90s cartoons. Do yourself a favor. Go just watch all the old 90s.
A fucking Spider-Man comic it's just a black thing with just white text that says there are no honored dead here. This is not a place of worship.
God. Oh God. Okay, then hit me with this last one before I die.
One more. I'm sorry to be a Debbie Downer, but we have to talk about it.
Oh no.
Fandom acquires GameFAQs, Metacritic, and more. You're fucked too.
You're fucked too. That's the title card for this episode, folks. Or at least that's the title of the episode. I've already decided it's You're fucked too.
The title card, if you can just whip up a Marvel comic that just says there are no honored dead here.
Yeah. Oh fuck. But yeah, no. This also sucks. I hope you're one of the many people who have downloaded every possible game FAQ, because those downloads do exist, by the way.
Yeah. Internet Archive has them all in a preserved state as well.
Oh, good. Okay, so they are still because the thing is about fandom is that they shut down shit all of the time.
Left and right.
They just kill shit constantly. So GameFAQs is almost certainly fucked. Like it's extremely non-conducive to like all of the dog shit ads they love plastering all over everything. So GameFAQs is just fucked.
Have you ever had to scroll a fandom wiki on your phone?
Oh God,
it's
awful.
It is nightmarish.
It is honestly
like
one of the worst experiences you can have on a phone.
Half of it
is getting random dick pics. Like it's really high up there.
Like half it is taken up by some arbitrary video that's playing at the top for no reason. It might not even be a video on the topic that you're looking up, right?
No, it's just some random fucking video. Yeah.
And then occasionally you'll scroll down and it'll do that fucking border shit.
Yeah, and then it'll keep popping you back up to the top of the page as like shit keeps loading. No, it's wretched. Do not under any circumstances. By the way, download Firefox or die by my sword, because soon your ad blockers aren't going to work on fucking Google Chrome. So, just use Firefox, because you'll actually be able to use the internet.
Yeah, it's time for Firefox to make its return. Yeah,
I have Firefox. I have never stopped using Firefox. I used Chrome for like a year. I was like, this sucks actually, and I went back to Firefox. Because, otherwise your entire browsing experience on the internet will be like using a fandom-owned website. Because it sucks ass.
Any information you're trying to find out about a game, any walkthroughs, any guides, any information you're trying to look up for crafting guides in 14, if you're trying to look up how to beat a boss in Bloodborne or in fucking Elden Ring, it's going to be on a fandom site from now on.
And it's all going to be completely unnavigable.
Or you can join a Discord and hope you can have the courage to ask questions on there.
And hope somebody is nice enough to answer you. Yeah. As
someone who is trying to really get into speedrunning, if you watch any GDQ run, every host will be like, yeah, come join our Discord. We're all really friendly. We'll help you out. We'll get you guides and stuff. And they are. I'm in the Mega Man X run. I'm in the Goemon run. They are all incredibly helpful, and they're willing to, give you advice and information and congratulate you when you're doing good. It's a very friendly, welcoming community. Do you know how hard it is to ask someone for help?
Yeah, absolutely. Literally impossible. No. Misery.
to not ask ask people who are technically your competitors?
Yeah, not only to ask them your competitors, but also to just, pester some. You feel like you're pestering somebody for, information that they have almost certainly already told somebody, right? It doesn't matter what they think of you. You go into an already populated Discord that is about a specific topic, and you go, so where do I begin? Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, right? It's every voice actor at a con who is like, so how do I get into voice acting?
Yeah, it's just no, don't make a better. There's fandom and there's also Wikia, right? They're owned by different companies, right?
Yes. I think
because there's two different types of wikis, and there's some that suck ass and some that are good.
I can't. It doesn't. The article I know it was mentioned. I've heard about it. Yeah, there's other companies that do wikis besides Fandom. Fandom just happens to be the biggest one. I don't know if Wikia is still around, but I know there are other ones that it's like. But the thing is, like, if you are on Fandom and you try to move to another one, Fandom is likely to just shut you down and gut you for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it sucks ass. I mean, okay, and also I googled it real fast. Wikia is actually the parent company of Fandom. So
okay, so
they are the evil. They are the evil from which all spawns.
Yes.
Yeah. No, this just sucks. This also just sucks. Like, I especially like for everything. The one that is going to be hit the hardest by this is absolutely GameFAQs.
Yeah.
GameFAQs is so anti, like, making money on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, that entire website is built around just like the most simple possible website imaginable.
Gone are the days of ASCII titles.
Yeah, no more ASCII titles. Or there's going to be ASCII titles, and they're all going to get fucked up by the formatting. The formatting is all going to get fucked up by all the ads they're going to stick in all these guides. Oh god, all of my favorite, like, I have so many like guides that I love, and that were like just legitimately great guides for helping, especially like, there's a really good one by Alex something on GameFAQs, and it's the Tales of the Abyss guide that I used to 100% the game. And it's like so perfect because of how it just checklists, it'll go like, okay, well, you just finished this plot point. Now here are the next steps to all of these side quests you need to go do. And then after you do them, you can go do the next hour, 2 hours of plot uninterrupted. And you can go back and do more of the side quests and stuff like that. And it's so great. And stuff like that is just gonna be gone.
Yeah. One of the only major wikis that is not under this branch is, again, because it's the best, the TF wiki.
Right.
Is independent.
TF wiki is just completely independent. Yeah. God love them.
They saw the writing on the wall when this was all like years ago, and is like, we're just going to be our own thing.
Yeah, because otherwise you just end up completely under the heel of like these freaks who are going to cover your wiki in dog shit advertising. So, no. Downer way to end the episode. But you're fucked too.
This was kind of a bummer news cycle. Not really a lot of super cool shit happening.
Sorry. Oh well, Ben, do the outro.
Thank you for listening to us. Thanks to Adventuria for our background music. You can follow me on Twitter at thegorgepodcast. You can follow Sarah at radioinactivity. You can email us at thegorgepodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to listen to Sarah talk about other things, you can listen to other podcasts.
Hey, I'm in another podcast called Big Gay Nerds, where me and a bunch of cool queer friends get together and we play tabletop games. We play multiple systems. It's always a lot of fun. Right now we're kind of in a transitionary period, but our most recent game was Beam Saber, a mech pilot hack of Blades in the Dark, where you play as, obviously, mech pilots in a complicated global war. It's kind of got like a kind of a Gundam-y flair, where it's based more about like faction mitigation and stuff like that. It's really, really good. I love that system a lot. I think Forged in the Dark is like one of my favorite systems ever. If you think that sounds good, head on over to Big Gay Nerds. It's wherever you get your podcast. That's the name of the show. And we're on Twitter under that. And thanks.
Holy fuck!
What?
There is good news to end this with.
What?
This just happened. The Kingdom Hearts animated pilot animatic was just posted.
Oh, fuck yeah! Okay, then. Well, that's one hell of a way to end the show.
Not on the docket, but holy shit!
Well, great! I guess there's nothing to say fuck you to, because we already got it all out of our system in the fucking episode, so fuck yeah?
Fuck capitalism, but fuck yeah, Kingdom Hearts pilot!
Kingdom Hearts!
Good night, everyone!
Good night, everyone!